Good morning friends and welcome to the pre-market view. US markets were down almost about 0.4% and this is for the fourth or fifth consecutive day that we are seeing a downtick there. And the 10-year bond yields in US continues to hover around about 2.67 odd levels. They have in fact corrected from 2.9 or thereabouts to almost about 2.68. And European markets too were flat to marginally negative, no major data points in Eurozone as well. And when we look at the Asian markets today morning, most of the markets are down. Nikkei is down about 0.35 to 0.4% and Chinese markets and Hang Seng also is down about 0.35 to 0.4%. SGX Nifty is suggesting that we are going to open up about 15 to 18 points down, somewhere around 5870 or thereabouts. And in terms of flows, friends, FIs were net buyers in the equity market to the tune of 382 crore. The domestic institutions were sellers to the tune of about 473 crore, and in the index futures, the FIs were sellers to the tune of 130 crore. Though we are seeing weakness in our markets for the past about 3 trading sessions, we are not seeing any incremental negative data in terms of FI flow, which is definitely a bit of comforting. And the bond yields in our market also have cooled off from about 8.85 to almost about 8.78 levels. Since today we are going to have an F&O expiry, we will check with our F&O desk as to what their outlook is and where do they expect the Nifty to close. The market expects Nifty to close somewhere around 5880 to about 5930, somewhere in that range based on the current options positions. On that note, let me invite Shaival to take us through important F&O cues, data and strategies that we can have in the F&O markets.
Good morning friends. Let's have a look at derivatives. Friends, from past 2 days we were seeing that markets were able to hold 5,900 on closing basis, but finally yesterday it closed below this level due to selling pressure. Although market showed some recovery on back of long positions being accumulated in the market, but it was unable to close above 5,900 level. Now talking about the PCR ratio, the PCR ratio has seen a sharp decline from 1.30 to 1.25, as it's clearly visible that the activity is getting squeezed as today is the expiry day. Now the new entrant in the option matrix is 5,850 call as well as put option, which has seen good amount of positions or say activity taking place in the market, followed by 5,800. Whereas if I talk on the higher side about call option, 5,900 and 6,000 call option is the one which has seen the good amount of activity in the market. From past few days we have been seeing that the implied volatility or the volatility index VIX has been on a gradual decline. So net our bias for the market is still positive. The VWAP is 5850 and on higher side the range would be 6,000 for this current week. Today being the expiry day, we feel that the market would remain volatile and uncertain, and from intraday perspective one can go long on Aditya Birla Nova by maintaining a stop loss of 1191.95. Thank you.
Here are the important news and events that we are tracking today. First of all, Oberoi Realty promoters are going to offer certain shares to the public under OFS route, and the price is fixed at about 158 rupees per share, and totally about 1.14 crore shares are being made available. This is one of the few companies where the overall debt situation is very comforting, and because they have exposure mainly into Mumbai region where the stability in the price has been there, this pricing is looking pretty attractive from a medium term perspective. Maruti Suzuki has announced that they are going to take a price increase of about 10,000 rupees across their product spectrum because there has been a increase in the input costs, and also we are entering the festive season. So there is going to be an increase in the prices, and we think that this is a bit positive for Maruti Suzuki. And interministerial body of Telecom Commission has scheduled a meeting for the third round of spectrum auction, which is likely to be held in January 2014. Remember friends that past couple of auctions have not got good response, which is definitely positive for the incumbent players like Bharti and Idea. So we expect some positive action in the stocks of Bharti and Idea on the back of this development. After selling its JP unit in Gujarat to Ultratech, now JP Associates has put another 2 blocks of cement in Himachal Pradesh for selling, and they have already initiated dialogues with various contenders. So this is definitely a bit of positive for JP Associates because they are moving into that direction of reducing their debt over a period of time. India is looking at abolishing the 5-year 20-plane rule for the domestic carriers to fly abroad, and there's an indication that probably they would not want the existing airlines to complete 5 years and have a fleet of 20 aircraft before they start operating in the overseas route. So this move is definitely positive for the new entrants because they will not have to wait to start their overseas operations. US health regulator has issued a warning letter to Aarti Drugs saying it's not satisfied with the company's response to its inspections at the company's Maharashtra facilities. So definitely a bit of negative for the Aarti Drugs. It's a liquid stock, so one should be a little cautious there. And in case of UB Group, Vijay Mallya has ruled out selling his controlling stake in the Mangalore Chemicals, and as per indications from another promoter, Saroj Poddar, he has decided to sell his 16% stake to the highest bidder. So this stake of Saroj Poddar might eventually go to Deepak Fertilizers, which currently holds about 24% stake. So expect some action in the Mangalore Chemical stock. And if Deepak Fertilizers manages to get Saroj Poddar's stake, there could be an open offer and it could unfold, it could turn out to be a very interesting proposition for the Mangalore Chemical shareholders. Coming to the stock specific news, HCL Tech has won a multi-year, multi-million-dollar contract to modernize the unemployment insurance services in the US. So one can go long there with a stop loss of 1042 and a target of about 1095 to 1116. That's it from all of us, friends. Have a great trading session and see you tomorrow at the same time.